What about now? Do we have it now? Checking the input. Is vocal mic working now? I hear it in the monitor. Dead mic. Yeah, we good? Okay, now we're cruising. I'm going to adjust some levels real quick. Just bear with me. Cool. It says the rig sounds great. We're trying some new stuff. You guys are my lucky test subjects today. Today is unique in that I have some left and rights on some backing tracks here, and I want to test all kinds of different things. I want to test some tracks. Yeah, let's see if this works. I'm gonna try to play a song. Let's see if one works. I don't know. Let's try to play one. I was playing this earlier. Let's see if this will come through. Okay, so audio 1 and 2 are not coming through for whatever reason. There's guitar. Track 1 and 2. Is it working? That's not working. Oh, there it is. Got it. Cool. So give me just a second. I want to see if I can actually do direct audio for backing tracks with you guys, and control everything right here. What I've got going on is my Bella behind me into my pedal board, and I've got it going into the Universal Audio aux, and I'm about to try to do a test track on this. This is a tune I don't play live, so it may not be that good. I don't know. Let me just test something. Yeah, let me tune up real quick and try to give this a go. I've never streamed with tracks and everything, so let's see what happens. This is test number 1. Works. So does that work? Is everybody seeing the audio there? Sounds great. Oh man, somebody's saying I've got a budding career as an audio professional. Yeah, sit back just a smidge. Cool, yeah. Trying to get, there we go. I think I've got it going now. All right, cool. So if everything's working, we can all drive in. A little test run there. It's not going to hurt nobody. Yeah, so I wanted to jump on here and basically just try round 2 of tests. I've had a lot of people asking me about my signal chain and my gear. So I want to go ahead and walk you guys through what essentially is my live tone when I'm out on the road playing my solo stuff, right? Starting obviously with the The signal chain is the guitar itself, which is my signature model, Sir. It's a prototype that I play all the time. And then I use a small pedal board. I'm going to walk you through what I have on the pedal board, starting with a tuner, obviously, and then a Carl Martin comp. Here's just the clean tone with no effects. Let me turn the delay off. So no effects or anything. Just a nice, cool fundamental tone. Out of phase stuff. And then middle. And then the neck. This is a really cool sound. This is just the neck most coil. The neck humbucker, cool and thick and PAF-esque. So yeah, and then from there, one of my things that I like to hit is a compressor. I've got the Carl Martin on right now. And usually it's set kind of a boost. Here is the guitar without it. And then with it. So it kind of bumps up that level a bit. And just so you guys are aware, the Bella is going into the Universal Audio aux and then into Logic, and everything's working. This is really amazing. I can't believe this is happening in real time. I've struggled with this for about 2 weeks. You guys saw me go live accidentally last week, and now we're trying to make it better, trying to get better with you guys. So yeah, Carl Martin compressor, set kind of like a boost. The next pedal in the signal chain is the Wampler. We're just going to call it Mystery Prototype. Obviously, you guys put 2 and 2 together. We're working on something. Here is one side of it that's a little bit more of a Marshall in a box kind of tone. I think that's really sounding good. A lot of definition. I really like this overdrive a lot. When I roll the volume off. Neck pickup. Here's the other side of it. The other side is more of a boost. Here's without, right? Here's with. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the Strymon. This is a timeline. It's so dry in the studio that I want to have a little something. I've got the Strymon timeline for my delay, and I've got it set to like a, kind of a dotted 8 thing. Yeah, there you hear it, some flutter. I've got the mix set on a wet dry, so I can be fully wet here, or I can empty it out. But for the sake of cool factor, let's just have it wet right now. And then this is with the dirt side. And if if I want a little more of a EJ kind of tone, I just adjust the middle knob, which is really cool. And now it gets a little more EJ-esque. Loving this pedal. Really think it sounds good. Yeah, so, yeah, the Wampler Dual Charisma Drive. Yeah, it's not going to be called the Charisma Drive. It's a great name. One of the interesting things that we've got going on, I don't know, I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. There's some cool signal routing that I've got going on. The next thing I've got is a BB preamp over here. Here's without it. That's with it on. Obviously, it's cool for... kind of jangly thing is really good for that. Let's see, like maybe. It's really good for that kind of tone too. And then that's it. I've got a B9 on here, and it's just for fun organ sounds. It's not even something that. It really likes the compressor in front of it. Check it out. It's killer for that, right? I don't know. It's just meant for making sounds that are cool and keyboard-esque. It's a lot of fun when we do Kennedy Wood Band. It sounds good, man. So do I stack overdrives? Yes, I do. Here is the Marshall in a box kind of tone, the mystery drive. And then when I stack it with itself and put the other side of it on. It's, silly kid licks. It's fun for that stuff. Here's with the BB in front of it. Here's without it, right? Here's with. Really, really cool for that stuff too. And I love it with the compressor. Here's without again. And then with the compressor. So yeah, that's kind of like my lead tone, and again, it's like my whole sound's kind of coming from this Bella. That's it right there, the fundamental thing. Kind of a fun tone, and having the timeline, I can have a nice slapback setting. If I'm trying to chicken pick a little bit. Sorry, let me try that again. That kind of overdriven, rowdy Nashville thing. It's cool too with just more of the split Steve Wariner kind of sound. yeah, so on and so forth. So with that said, that's my rig. That's kind of how I like to do business when I'm not in a hired gun gig. This is all kind of like he said. The compressor is a big part of my effect. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So if you have any questions about the pedals, that's why we're here. So yeah, talking about tones thickens it up. It sure does. So what are the drive output levels for each? Man, I never get too crazy with drive output. The heaviest tone I've got is this thing. That is as chunky as I get. And if I pull the volume down, it's still there, If I roll the volume up, it can kind of start to sing a little bit. Especially for like maybe that kind of tone, when I'm playing like Truth and Lie or whatever. That's the drive is important to me for not have the gain so saturated that it can't clean up. As you saw, I didn't step on anything. I didn't adjust anything. It's just the volume. And then I hit the front of that, right, with whatever I want to gas that up. Here's the compressor on it. And then the compressor's on. It's kind of cool for making notes pop out. Some of the Andre stuff I've been working on lately. All those kind of like neary licks kind of sounds good for that stuff. What pick am I using? Blue chip or black ice. Am I using the compressor always on? No. I use everything to taste. Like, I'm definitely all about seasoning my tone to taste. Let's try to play a tune. Somebody's like, ever play fusion? I mean, like, I guess my quintessential fusion is, closer to redneck fusion, like reverb. That's just me being stickler for keep it as simple as possible. The gauge of the pick is 1.5 millimeter. Split the buckers to single coil, volume drop. No. Here's the it's the rockin' humbucker, and then here's the redneck mod on the tone. And when I split it down. Nice that is. If your gain is maxed out, you can't get there. But that's still the same gain that I would use for the solo. So I don't really slam the front of the amp. The amp's loud. It's in a load box right now, but the amp is set to kill right now. It is on noon. So yeah, if you were in front of that cabinet and I didn't have a load box on, it'd probably blow me through the wall. But I think that's a lot of, you got to get those transformers. You got to get those things cooking. Got to get them loud. I'll play a song. I'm actually going to try to do a concert, but let's just see if I can play a song here and it work. Now, you guys bear with me. Pardon the level inconsistencies if I'm still working through this. So let's just try that Truth and Lie tune, all right? Now I'm going to inspect the comments and see if it sounded good or if all you guys heard was the lead. I have no idea if the track is coming through or not. On fuego. I too speak Spanish. No, I really don't. I just know that means fire. It's going to take a while for my eyebrows to grow back. It's got no eyebrows, he says. Could somebody chime into the chat and give me some feedback on the levels? I feel like it sounds pretty cool in my studio, but I don't know what's coming out there. I don't know what's happening. I'll gladly tell you my timeline setup. Somebody will tell me if this is translating to the song. Is the backing track? The backing track is slightly aggressive. Okay, thanks, Randy. Maybe I just turn up. Now keep in mind the backing track is going to differentiate because they're all mixed at different levels. But okay, cool. It looks the track everything's great. It's a little loud. The backing track's a little loud. Okay, cool. That's universal. I'm just going to turn those down just a touch. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys helping me learn how to do this. I'm just adjusting some levels here. Let me open up my browser again. All right. Cool. All right, cool. Mike's sounding good. Mix is good. Oh, dude, I love to see that. I love to see that the mix is good. Okay, yeah, people jumping in, ask about pedals. Carl. Here's the thing, man. That's really my Wampler prototype. That's doing the heavy lifting. I kick on and off the compressor to taste, and that's kind of it. The Wampler prototype's doing all of it. String hardness. Are you saying maybe gauge? These are 9 to 40, whatever the pack of 9 is. I use 10s for a half step down most of the time. I use 10s for Les Pauls. I use 9s for Fender scale length. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So I opened up the conversation here for you guys. I actually see my live chat a little bit better today. Yeah, would you guys like to ask me any questions regarding gear maybe? The delay is in the box. No, the delay is not in the box. The delay is the timeline. I like the setting that's the dual delay. Let me go just to my cleanish tone. So that sounds like crazy, crazy wet, and I have it like that for like. And then I can control it with an expression pedal, so I can dry it out. Now, if I do a little compression on that, it's going to get real nice. Oh, yeah, I like that. We may do another song. I think this is cool. Anything in the effects loop? Nah, man, nothing's in the effects loop. Thanks, Thomas. Pedal will be out hopefully really soon. I got some special stuff working on with my boys at Sir on a little project, and I got the Wampler boys obviously working on this thing. So, yeah, I have for my solo stuff, instrumental guitar nerd stuff. I like to run everything out in front of this Bella. I mean, the Hedgehog's great. I use that too in the same kind of way. I don't use any multi-channel stuff when I'm doing my solo stuff these days. It's all on the board. Yeah, the Wampler's the overdrive and the compressor hit the front of the Wampler. That's right. Yeah, looks like Michael's got it happening here. Do you know which pickups are in your Orange Sir? They sound killer. Yes, I do know which pickups are in the Orange Sir. Those are the V60s, and it's a little bit of an underwound bridge. Stacked humbucker bridge pickup, and he only ran one coil out of it, if I'm not mistaken. So there's something real funky with that guitar, and so I had John and the boys, when they were assembling that guitar, kind of just try to get it to where the neck pickup and the bridge pickup are almost the same exact output and volume. So, yeah. As far as which comp pedal, the Carl Martin, yeah, thanks for the kind words about the tone. What's my favorite guitar? Man, this might be my favorite guitar just because, I mean, you can tell this one's got the mileage on it. I've played the living crap out of this guitar. I think the Whiskey Barrel it's got a special space in my heart. The Candy Apple Red guitar that's over there, that's like that drip, that guitar sounds amazing. It might be the best sounding Sir Modern I've ever played. I think I've probably played 1,000 Sir Moderns, and I think that thing just has it's got the goods. As Wes would say, it's got what it takes. Anybody familiar with Wes Hawk, follows him around. Hawk, I can't remember how I pronounce his last name, but I love that guy. He is a sweetheart, and he says when he likes something, he goes, oh, it's got what it takes. And that Modern, I would play it, but it's tuned at half step down right now, and all my stuff's in standard. So yeah. Let's do another old tune that I haven't played in a while. Okay, is that cool? Can we do one that I don't play a lot? that song. It shows. I haven't played that song in at least 2 years. We used to play that one a lot back in the day, but, knock the cobwebs off of it. I think that's kind of fun stuff to do on streams. Streams are times where you can just kind of do stuff that you don't normally do and kind of have some fun here with you guys. Maybe do another one. I don't know. Do another song. I don't know. Let's see what we got going on with questions. Oh, this is a good one, dude. We got, hey, Andy, I always find picking fast descending runs much harder than ascending runs. Any tips on that? Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. So you probably heard me play some runs in that tune that were the descending things. I probably played something in there similar to. What would I do? It's hard to play when I'm not playing music. Yeah, that'd be like a descending run. And I'm kind of thinking like an EJ kind of thing. Now, a linear approach would be very different, where you're kind of 3 note per string in it. Those would be like some cool descending, like 3 note, very Petrucci-esque kind of things, versus the EJism. Those are all like 2 different ways to look at descending, going this way. I don't think of descending or ascending either way. I don't think the guitar in like chunks, right? So that's like step 1. And fretboard visualization across diagonal kind of way will help you kind of navigate, looking for where, I don't know if you're asking about the harmony or the picking, but I'm assuming it's the picking. And to me, it's the universal thing of just making sure that you're relaxed, And as you can tell, this tone's pretty unforgiving. It's like, clean as can be. But like if I'm really on and it's I'm precise, the tone will show that. If I'm sloppy and I miss a note, you guys are going to hear that, Let's see. He's chiming in here. Licks that mix 2 and 3 notes. Yeah. Licks that mix 2 and 3 notes. So something like. So like, yeah, that's like a whole bunch of different. Some notes have one note per string. Some notes have, or some sequences have 3 notes per string. That's where you're kind of going across, arpeggiating it. And the right hand is kind of approaching it the same way on both, where it's like I'm just trying to remain relaxed. And regardless of how many notes per string I'm playing, right, my number one focus is the precision and the dynamic, pre-thought out kind of thing. Check out this week's episode of the Woodshed, where it's like alternate picking mental concepts. Will you, if you'll check out that video, that's like 30 minutes of me getting way into the mindset of how I'm doing this stuff, right? Yeah. I am not using the compressor all the way on. The compressor's off right now. This is just the overdrive. With the compressor on. So it obviously increases the gain, kind of gives it a little more sauce, makes it feel good under the playing without having to be super fuzzy. You know what I mean? I don't like a lot of fuzz in my tone. I like a darker kind of tone. Yeah, it's a great question, man. I gotta give a shout out right here. Guitar Cuba says, Can I give any advice on how to think faster and move more freely during an improvisation? Yeah, my advice is fretboard awareness. By that I mean fretboard awareness, right? So it's like, somebody give me a key. Somebody in chat here. I love the fact that this is happening in real time. It's so cool. Somebody in chat, give me a key. I don't care if it's major or minor. I don't give a crap. Give me a key. How to because the reason I'm doing this is so it's I'm truly improvising right now. I'm trying to improvise everything for you guys. So I need a key that you guys want me to play in and that we can talk about. So give me a key, major or minor. I don't care. If you don't give me one in the next 10 seconds, I'm going to pick my own key. Y'all got 5 seconds. Y'all got 5 seconds to pick a key. All right, there we go. Okay, let's say a good one is D. I want to pick a key. We can play an A flat. We can do all these crazy things, but I think D minor. That's even more specific. Yeah. So I will pick a key that we all familiar with. Everybody can play in D minor. I don't want to be talking only to the elites. In gaming, and you guys are gonna like this. In gaming, we call the people that are really tryhards and the elite players. We call those the sweaties. I like that term. That's it. So I don't want to only be talking to the sweaties out there that play guitar. I want to be making sure that we've got something that everybody can chew on. So let's take the key of D minor. Let's take that old familiar, lovely pentatonic guy that we like so much. And how do I think through improvising at fast speeds? First thing I got to do is be aware of where all my root notes are. So I know that a lot of players I see they play fast and then they have to stop and they have to reset and they have to play fast somewhere else. So like they're playing fast, like let's say they're playing fast like up here. Then they have to stop and move to a position that they like somewhere else. Like say they like it here. So you get this really disjointed thing, this kind of thing. Like it kind of breaks and stops. So if I were to like be playing and I have to stop, like it sounds disjointed, right? So for me, it's like, how do I connect everything, hold everything, glue everything together? That's step one, is fretboard awareness. So let's find all the roots, right? Find a place that I don't like to play in, and I try to focus there. If I'm not familiar with playing like here, then I'm going to play there. If I'm not familiar with playing up here, yeah, you want to be to where you're floating through every part of the note. That's like some of the ways that Andre gets around it that I think is really cool. Another way would be like Tom thing, you've got the freedom all the way up and down the neck, right? So when I'm playing fast and kind of doing the thing, I like to try to work my way in a direction, right? I'm never having to stop and reset and play in this box and then stop and play in this. So like I see some of the stuff regarding, all these different teaching methods of caged or whatever. I didn't learn like that. I just tried to learn organically, and then I went to school later in life for jazz or whatever. But I don't really think of my fretboard freedom in a way of looking at blocks like chunks. I'm not really doing that. So if this is a little too advanced, or if it's not advanced enough, I'll try to aim it a certain way. But let's reel it into just basic pentatonic stuff, right? Everybody says they play their pentatonic, so like, yeah, man, I know that. But they don't really know the pentatonic everywhere. Like they can't move freely throughout the pentatonic in every position. added a 9 there. Sorry. Right? So if that's challenging to you, and you can't, you got to start looking at the pentatonic where like play on one string. Take it on the B string. And so I look at the guitar trying to make it as linear as possible, you know what I mean? So that helps me a lot when I'm trying to improvise at a slow tempo or a fast tempo. You know, it's just trying to look and see that if I play, you know, 1 minor third and then 4, then 5. Then I can go up to the next position where my root is and put my finger in the same spot on the next string. And then the next time I have a root, put it there. You may see me do something like that in a lick that's like... literally playing the same thing in all 3 positions. Yeah, so that's kind of how I start. That's how I start building the fretboard together. And then from there, you know, from that point, it starts turning into aiming at chord tones. You know, that's really important. Aiming at thirds, fifths, things like that. Okay, great question. Love that. Do I prefer pentatonic over modal? No, I don't prefer pentatonic or modal. Like I'm trying to think intervallically. I'm trying to think as far as like what am I doing to the scale to give it a sound, like, right? So if I want to play Lydian, I don't think about playing the C major scale over an F chord. Like that's a lot of information. What I think about is playing a C major scale with a raised fourth. That's how I'm thinking of it, right? Right? That kind of sound. That's how I prefer to think about it, you know. Obviously, when you think that Lydian thing, I think I love that, man. That Dancing Days gets so good to me. Tom Bukovac just did a lesson or a stream or whatever you want to call it, talking about open G, and he played some of that Dancing Days in the correct tuning. I always just played it in standard because I learned the tune before I learned about alternate tunings, you know. I was kind of always playing. I assumed things were just always in standard, you know. So D minor as it relates to F major, yeah, I mean it's the same thing, right? Like here's F major. And check it out, man. D minor's got the same notes in the same chord. You know? I make my tone really dark and pretend to be Eric Johnson. Something like this, you know. that's the way I'm kind of simultaneously seeing I'm so sorry, D minor and F major at the same time, right? It's kind of how I'm getting around it. Intervals are the DNA of music. DNA is the building blocks of music is intervals. Yeah, I love it. Man, my advice on ear training is listen to a lot of music, listen to a lot of records. That's where the cool stuff happens. And by that I mean the cool stuff like learning something the wrong way. I remember when I was learning Brent Mason stuff, I was always learning it the wrong way. Obviously the right way would be like. Right. That's how he's playing that lick. And I learned it, and I was playing it wrong. So where am I going with this, right? I learned it like this. And he plays it. And so the point is, until I saw Brent do it, until I actually watched him play it, I was playing it wrong. The benefit is, man, that helps me a lot because I learned something because I was playing the correct intervals in the wrong fingering, right? So with the ear training aspect, it taught me that I could play verses, and I could play them both the same, And that kind of thing opened up a lot of freedom. Was like learning the wrong thing, or learning the right thing the wrong way, right? So that's my advice on ear training. That's how I think you should get around some of that stuff. Is just listen to records and kind of learn how you would do it. Like I learned the Dan Huff intro to Time to Burn. I learned it the wrong way, right? Dan plays it like that, and I learned it like this. Like obviously it'd be in tune. Let me tune up just real quick. Sorry. These strings are getting old. So, And I learned that lick the wrong way, right? I learned it with first finger and hammer on. Dan plays it third finger, right? But once I saw Dan play it, I was like, cool, But it's like it helped me. It helped me kind of develop my thing by learning things the wrong way. So that's my thoughts on ear training. Listen, man. Always have the ears on. Always just kind of have your guitar out and try to work your way through songs that you like and music that you like, man. Shoot, I mean that's it, right? That's why we're all doing this together. That's why we're all in it together. Let's bust out some more questions. I got the gear, man. I'm so happy this gear is kind of working out. I'm gonna do a live concert maybe later this week on here and just sit and pick the whole time, maybe 30 minutes or an hour, just kind of just play jams. Right now though, this is all about you guys. This is all about Q&A time. Oh man, that's so sweet, dude. Thank you, Jack. Jack says I got a feel for the guitar that he enjoys a lot, man. That's very kind of you. I really appreciate it. That's one thing that's really important to me is like musicality and trying to play stuff that I find that sounds nice and musical, that's the kind. I mean, I could just sit and just noodle through melodic stuff all day long and have fun with that. So yeah, man, I appreciate that. Oh yeah, somebody caught the little wing changes kind of happening underneath there. I get to just play and stuff and kind of see where it takes me. You know, that's kind of how I like to have fun. Links to a minor chord. Yeah. I used just then in my improvisations that I was doing. I was originally playing in the key of E. And so how'd I get to E minor to play Little Wing, right? Like I was playing an E for Rugged Cross, right? So I used the 5 chord of E to C to B, right? Then I moved that up a half step, right? Then I moved it up a whole step, and then I moved it up the root from the D, and I moved that up a half step. That became the 3rd of a 5 chord, like a dominant 7. And then there, I was set up perfectly for that minor sound. And then from there, I just started playing through the changes, right? Aiming at thirds. So, playing the melody, right? Right? And then it's always fun to play over this B minor chord. Move that back for the A minor, right? Aiming at thirds the whole time. To G. We'll step back to F. Then down. Here's another trick where I take that root and I drop that root a half step, becomes the 3rd, first inversion of C. So check that out one more time. It's really musical. It's a cool little way to add some musicality. Sneaky move. Sneaky is the when you got the root down at the bottom. Root. So we're in the key of G right now. Root 5-3. Now we're going to play whole step back for root 5-3 of F. Now watch this first finger. It's going to drop a half step. Now that becomes the 3rd of C. So we got 3, 1, 5 of C. So let's hear that in context, right? Melody line, right? Right. And then this. Yeah. Now we're at the part that I was talking about. So watch this. Here it comes. Watch this. Right, and now it walks down one more. Right, there's a lot of power in that. Now I'm going to bring the root of this D chord. I'm going to move it up a half step to give me. That's a nice leading tone going back into the E minor. So like flying with the wind. There's that move, right? Now let's move it back a whole step. Now watch this. And that's cool, man. I love that kind of stuff, that little voice leading stuff. And like when I'm improvising, I can just hold that all day long. I play on A minor all day long. Until I'm ready to go back down to that E. Now there, that's the B minor, right? All day long, I'm playing by myself, no other band, so I can do what I want, play in B minor all day. Move it down to A minor, right? Aiming at thirds. That's where your music is. F move, right? Except I went the other way. Right? Yeah. So it's all about where's that root in that G. If I move it back a whole step, or if I move it up a whole step, it can go to F both ways. Right? Isn't that nice? And then down to C. Then you just start shredding away. Yeah, so I think that's kind of like an insight, some cool stuff that I like to get around, man. Thirds, not defining the interval. I mean, notes that define the interval. I'm so sorry, I misread that. Yeah. They that's thirds of the chord tones, baby. That's if you guys like, you probably hip to Andy Timmons. He's the master of playing melodically with thirds. So good. Tension. Yeah, that's how I'm building a lot of that tension. It was like lifting on that. So D is the 5 chord of G in Little Wing. So I actually do a little voice leading there to get D, and then I raise that root, and it kind of builds a diminished sound. And that can also be just an outline of a B7, right? And that's how I'm leading into. So you hear this sound. Isn't that nice? If I was to play that like some Derek Trucksism, I'd have maybe. I'd be going for those kind of things. So when I kind of change into that kind of vibe, it's like I'm aiming at the chord tones in a linear fashion, right? So that's like some of maybe how you'd like kind of pretend to be a slide player over that song, and a different way of looking at thirds again, but just with a different mentality, right? You know what I'm saying? Oh man, we got one request. Let me see what time it is. Hang on. Okay, we have a request for Reach. I'll be glad to play it. I haven't played it forever, so I don't even know if I'll be any good on it. But we'll see, and we'll see together. I thank you guys so much for chiming in. I hope some of this stuff was friendly and good to you. I'm going to do this stuff a lot. You guys keep coming and hanging out. I'll keep doing it. Let's try to hear some of this stuff in action, and rock some Reach. Let's see if we can get this going. I haven't played this in a long time. Thank you guys so much. When we come back, I'm going to do a little rehearsing and hopefully stream a concert for you guys this week. So anyways, by request, thank you guys. Man, it's fun to play with that. The only thing is I can't control when the band wants to stop the improvisational section. They just stop when they want to. Cool. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, cheers, guys. Thank you so much for chiming in and hanging out here and talking about some guitar. We'll try to do this more. I'm going to try to do it as much as possible. May just start doing it several times a week. Just y'all are just going to get a bunch of different versions of my tunes. I I just like to improvise and have some fun, kind of low pressure scenario here, and hanging out with you guys. Michael Lee Fergus, yeah, he's great, man. Great player. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll catch you in a couple of days. Cheers.